if what you have done yesterday still looks big to you, you haven't done much today. I believe in the cosmos. All of us are linked to the cosmos. So nature is my God. To me, nature is sacred. Trees are my temples and forests are my cathedrals. Being at one with nature. I believe in the cosmos. All of us are linked to the cosmos. Peace is not unity and similarity, but unity and diversity, in the comparison and conciliation of differences. The market is not an invention of capitalism. It has existed for centuries. It is an invention of civilization. We have retreated from the perennial values. I don't think that we need any new values. The most important thing is to try to revive the universally known values from which we have retreated. As a young man, I really took to heart the communist ideals. A young soul certainly cannot reject things like justice and equality. These were the goals proclaimed by the communists. But in reality, that terrible communist experiment brought about repression of human dignity. Violence was used in order to impose that model on society. In the name of communism, we abandoned basic human values. So when I came to power in Russia, I started to restore those values. Values of openness and freedom. One day we took each other by the hand and went for a walk in the evening. And we walked like that for our whole life. Americans have a severe disease worse than AIDS. It's called the winner's complex. History teaches us, however, that when the times are ripe for change and the government refuses or is unable to change, either society starts to decay or a revolution begins. If you are not moving forward, you are moving backward. We had 10 years after the Cold War to build a new world order, and yet we squandered them. The United States cannot tolerate anyone acting independently. Every U.S. president has to have a war. Life is much richer and more complex than even the most perfect plans to make it better. It ultimately takes vengeance for attempts to impose abstract schemes, even with the best of intentions. Perestroika has made us understand this about our past, and the actual experience of recent years has taught us to reckon with the most general laws of civilization. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, in his speech accepting the Nobel Prize, "Violence has no way to conceal itself except by lies, and lies have no way to maintain themselves except through violence. Anyone who has proclaimed violence his method inexorably must choose lying as his principle." I have long ago made a final and irrevocable decision. Nothing and no one, no pressure, sit her from the right or from the left, will make me abandon the positions of perestroika and new thinking. I do not intend to change my views or convictions. My choice is a final one. The ecological crisis, in short, is the population crisis. Cut the population by 90% and there aren't enough people left to do a great deal of ecological damage. The market came with the dawn of civilization, and it is not an invention of capitalism. If it leads to improving the well-being of the people, there is no contradiction with socialism. You shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet, especially from sites that can be edited by anyone with a working email address. Ideological and political intolerance, even with the best and most sincere intentions, produces results that are the direct opposite of those intended. Certain people in the United States are driving nails into the structure of our relationship, then cutting off the heads. So the Soviets must use their teeth to pull them out. In the end, the model that came into existence in the USSR was not socialist but totalitarian. This is a serious matter to be reflected on by all who seriously aspire to progress for the benefit of the human race. It would be naive to think that the problems plaguing mankind today can be solved with means and methods which were applied or seemed to work in the past. We won't survive if someone loses their nerves in the current tension. At times of profound, fundamental change in the foundations of social development, it is not only senseless but impossible to expect some sort of previously worked out model or a clear-cut outline of the transformations that will take place. This does not mean, however, the absence of a definite goal for the reforms, a distinct conception of their content, and the main direction of their development. With Yeltsin, the Soviet Union broke apart. The country was totally mismanaged. The constitution was not respected by the regions of Russia. The army, education, and health systems collapsed. People in the West quietly applauded, dancing with and around Yeltsin. I conclude therefore that we should not pay too much attention to what the West is saying.